Across the African savanna, the changing seasons can transform the landscape. As fresh grass becomes available, enormous herds of wildebeest begin moving across the plains in one of nature's greatest seasonal journeys. For these animals, movement is part of survival. A large herd can contain thousands of individuals, traveling together in search of fresh vegetation and water. But wherever large herds move, other animals notice. Among them are some of Africa's most powerful predators, lions. In one part of the savanna, a pride of lions occupies its own familiar range. The pride includes adult females, young cubs, and a male. For the adults, finding enough food is especially important when young cubs are present. The pride must conserve energy while making the most of opportunities that naturally appear around them. And now, a huge wildebeest herd is moving through the area. The sight of so many animals does not mean an easy meal. Quite the opposite. A wildebeest is a strong, fast-moving animal, and staying within a large herd provides an important advantage. When hundreds or thousands of wildebeest move together, it becomes difficult for a lion to separate a single animal from the group. The herd constantly shifts. Animals move closer together, then spread apart again. Every individual is surrounded by others, and the lions have to choose their moment carefully. The lions begin moving through the grass. They don't rush immediately. Instead, they gradually reduce the distance between themselves and the herd. The wildebeest continue moving across the open plains. Then, the atmosphere changes. Suddenly, the quiet savanna turns into a scene of extraordinary movement. The lions accelerate. The wildebeest respond immediately. Their powerful legs carry them across the open ground as the herd moves forward together. For the lions, speed alone isn't enough. They need timing, coordination, and an opportunity to separate one animal from the protection of the group. The wildebeest have their own advantage. There is strength in numbers. The herd continues forward while the lions follow. Dust rises from hundreds of hooves. The scene is chaotic, but the wildebeest are not simply running randomly. Their instinct is to stay with the group. Eventually, one wildebeest becomes separated from the main movement. The lions take advantage of the opportunity. After the intense chase, the pride succeeds in securing a meal. The rest of the herd continues onward. For the lions, this single opportunity can provide valuable energy. And for the wildebeest, it is another reminder of why staying together matters. But the story doesn't end there. The wildebeest continue their seasonal movement. They travel across the savanna, feeding where fresh vegetation is available and moving toward water when necessary. Eventually, the herd approaches a river, and crossing it will bring another challenge. Nile crocodiles live in many African rivers and can remain almost completely still while waiting for opportunities around the water's edge. The wildebeest gather near the bank. For a moment, the herd hesitates. Then the first animals enter the water. More follow. Soon, the river is filled with moving wildebeest. Some swim, while others push forward through shallower sections. The herd keeps moving toward the opposite bank. The crossing is difficult, but the animals continue. One after another, they reach the other side. The huge herd eventually emerges from the water and continues across the savanna. The wildebeest may have left one lion pride behind, but they have not left predators behind completely. On the opposite side of the river, another pride occupies part of the surrounding landscape. This pride has adult lions and its own social structure, and the arrival of a huge wildebeest herd creates a new opportunity. The lions observe the movement of the animals across the plains. But this landscape is different. The area ahead is vast and open. That gives the wildebeest plenty of space to keep moving. For the lions, getting close enough to a large herd is not simple. The wildebeest can see movement from a considerable distance, and once they begin running, their speed becomes a major advantage. The lions begin approaching. The herd continues grazing. For a short time, everything appears calm. Then, some wildebeest become alert. More animals look in the same direction. The herd begins to shift. The lions are getting closer, and once again, the familiar pattern begins. The lions move forward. The wildebeest increase their pace. The open savanna becomes a moving landscape of dust, hooves, and grass. But there is an important difference this time. The herd has an enormous amount of open ground ahead. If the wildebeest maintain their group and keep moving away from the lions, they can create distance. The lions continue following for a while, but the longer the herd remains together, the harder it becomes to separate one individual. Eventually, the wildebeest gain ground. The distance increases, the lions slow down, and the herd continues across the enormous savanna. For the wildebeest, there is no permanent victory, and there is no permanent defeat. Their lives are shaped by movement, fresh grass, water, weather, rivers, and the presence of predators. For the lions, the same landscape presents a completely different challenge. They must conserve energy, remain together, and take advantage of opportunities when they naturally appear. The two prides may occupy different parts of the same broader ecosystem, but neither controls the entire savanna. The wildebeest can move across enormous distances, and that movement constantly changes the relationship between predator and prey. One day, a herd may pass directly through a lion's range. Another day, the same herd may be many kilometers away, and after crossing a river, the animals can suddenly find themselves in an entirely different part of the ecosystem. As the sun begins to lower over the African plains, the wildebeest herd continues forward. Thousands of animals move across the grassland, searching for fresh vegetation and water. Behind them, two lion prides remain in different parts of the landscape. For the lions, another opportunity will eventually come.